YouTube is giving me server errors. What a surprise. 504, that's an error. The server encountered a temporary error and could not complete your request. Please try again in 30 seconds. That's all we know. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit, that's all you know. So I have no idea if I'm streaming right now. I may be not. All right, that's good. The Whiskey 2 station, this is November 1, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2 NZL, November 1, Juliet Victor. Good afternoon. Name is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo, QTH at Burlington, Connecticut. Do I have your call correctly? Whiskey 1 November Zulu Lima, is that correct? Whiskey 2 Nancy Zulu Lima. Alright, let me just bring that up real quick here in QRZ. Erwin from Castle, New York. Castile, New York. All right, very good. Playing around a little bit this morning here. I've got a Vox circuit that I've added to my Kenwood, to my Rig Blaster, and I'm just looking to get some on-air reports as to what my audio might sound like. Playing around with a program called Voice Shaper, V-Shaper, and I'm running it inside of a virtual machine on a Linux host. So just gonna play for you a couple of profiles, and I'd like to get your opinion on what this sounds like actually. Yeah, all right. The call is November 1 Juliet Victor N1JV, and the QTH is Burlington, Connecticut. All right, let me switch profiles here, and let's see, which profile have I got open here? I've got this looks like the moderate profile, so I'll go to the narrow. Alright, here's my narrow profile. This is very heavily clipped and high average audio, yada yada yada. Purely communications quality, 300 to 3000. How do you like this one? Roger, Roger. Okay, so let's see here. This is a great program. I don't know if you've ever messed with this, but it really makes shaping your audio very, very easy. Graphical user interface is just out of this world. Yeah, all right. This is the what I call the moderate profile, and it rolls off at about 125 hertz. I've got a high pass at 3150, and right now I'm using a Telex computer headset that came from a police dispatch center that was decommissioned some time ago. As far as the Vox is concerned, I'm wondering if it's cutting me off or clipping off any syllables on me. I really can't monitor the on-the-air audio, and I see that my rig tends to be unkeying every so often. So I want to make sure that it's not cutting me off in the middle of syllables. All right, Erwin. Well, I appreciate you coming back to me. And let's see. Let me see where I can look you up here. Detail. Only 268 miles as the crow flies, so not exactly DX. But I appreciate you coming back to me and giving me a signal report. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get my average audio up to cut through the DX pileups. And wow. All right, hold on a second here. My mic is picking up my my receiver. I need an anti-Vox. Where is it? There it is. Okay, this is the stock microphone. All right, there we go. This is the stock microphone, and wonder how you think this audio compares to the processed audio. Over.
Well, your signal dropped down quite a bit. You're nowhere near as strong as you were. You were good at 9 plus, and you got right down to about 5 there. So it's all kinds of weird noises.
Yeah, the problem was the headset mic was picking up the speaker. I unplugged the headphone jack on the Kenwood, and it started keying itself up again. So that didn't work so well. I need to add. That's the problem with homebrew stuff. I need to put in and add an anti-Vox circuit now to the Vox. But anyway, this is the stock microphone. The band condition is not steady, so obviously you're getting some QS Baker, and you also dropped down a little bit and then started to come back up. So maybe we can get a better feel for it now. Over.
Yeah, the band is in good shape here. You dropped right down to around a 5. You're starting to come back a little bit, but still not up to par where you were when you first called in there. Well, they won't do the stock mic there. Don't sound too bad. I really can't tell because the signal is gone down so much that you're just above the noise level.
All right, then we'll go back to the headset. I appreciate you talking to me today, Erwin, and obviously band conditions not being favorable the way they are, I'll sign with you on this one and spin around the band, maybe check out 20 meters and see what's going on there. 7-3, sir. Appreciate the contact. November 1, Juliet Victor on your final. Seven three. Hello. Wow. Hello, test. Yeah. N1 JV testing. Hello, test. 1, 2. Hello, test 1, 2. Hello, test 1, 2. All right, I've got bad RF problems. Getting into my computer. Now that I'm using the sound card on the computer for audio processing, that becomes a difficulty. It's the audio coming out of the sound card. The RF is getting into the computer. At least I'm pretty sure about that. Hello, check 1 2. Hello, check 1 2. Check 1 2 3. Well, one thing that would eliminate is ground loops for sure. You can use 2 modules down a plastic pipe as channels. I could just place them next to one another because obviously the goal is opto-isolation. But let's try an experiment here. Hello, check. Alright, that didn't help. Let's run it into a dummy load and see what happens. Hello, check. Hello, check 1, 2. Oh, yeah. Helps to plug it in. Hello, check. Hello, check 1, 2. Hello, test 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Hello, test 1, 2. Hello, test 1. 1, 2, 3. Hello, test 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Hello, test. Yeah, that's exactly right. Hello, test. Hello, test 1. Hello, test 1, 2. Hold on a second. I think I found the problem. Well, I found a way to mitigate my problem. There's a button on the Kenwood called the processor button, which is actually an automatic level control, and it's boosting up the gain when it shouldn't be. So it's causing the whole thing to stay keyed. And right now I'm not using the linear amplifier. I'm just talking on the radio. Into a dummy load. Check 1 2. Hello. Check 1 2. 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 Okay, that has no effect. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. This noise is still being introduced by the rig blaster, and I think probably because of the power supply. I'm going to test that theory right now. I had the audio card completely disconnected, and it still created that noise. anything with batteries. I'm going to use a secondary regulated supply, but yes, I could use a 9-volt battery. I already have the power supply leads through ferrites. Son of a bitch, that's what it is. It's the power supply. Alright, so we got to get rid of the wall wart. No, I have not had good luck with cores diminishing noise either. Not unless you create a one-to-one balun with about 14 to 20 turns. I've got cores everywhere. They don't seem to do shit. Yeah, that hole wandered way off. Oh well. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. There's one more thing I want to try. It could be something as silly as a jumper setting. Okay, that one's gone. Jumper setting. Jumper settings, creating a ground loop. That's all it was. Seriously. Yep. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what it was. All right, check 1, 2. 1, 2. Beautiful. Perfect. Let's try it with the linear amplifier. Woohoo! meters. Should be tuned up already. Check 1, 2. Hello, 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 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Test. All right. Check 1, 2. Hello, test. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2. Yes, I am still on the dummy load. 1, 2, 3. Hello, test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 5, 5. 5. Hello. 1, 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is working beautifully. Time to connect the antenna. No, not 7156. Right now I'm on 14290. Let's see what's around here. Oh, United Arab Emirates is on 14,188 right now. November 1, Juliet Victor. Hello, hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1 2. Hello, 1 2. Hello, 1 2. Hello, 1 2 3. Hello, check 1 2. Hello, test 1 2. CQDX, hello CQ, calling CQ20, hello CQ. This is November 1, Juliet Victor calling CQ, CQ20, CQ, CQ. November 1, Juliet Victor calling CQ20 and listening. Very, very high average audio. It's amazing. Calling CQ, hello CQ. This is November 1, Juliet Victor, Norway 1, Japan Victor, calling CQ20, 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 CQ, CQ. This is November 1, Japan Victor, calling CQ20 and listening. CQ20, CQ20, November 1, Juliet Victor, calling CQ. CQ, 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 November 1, Juliet Victor, calling CQ20 and bye for a call. Calling CQ, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet Victor, N1JV, calling CQ20, CQ20, CQ, 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 N1JV, calling CQ20 and bye for a call. Calling CQ, hello CQ, CQ20, this is November 1, Juliet Victor, N1JV, CQ, 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 November 1, Juliet Victor, calling CQ20 and bye for a call. Calling CQ, hello CQ. Calling CQ, CQ, CQ. CQ 20 meters. November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ 20. Calling CQ, CQ, CQ. N1 JV calling CQ 20 meters and bye for a call. Calling CQ, hello CQ, CQ 20 meters. This is November 1 Juliet Victor. N1 JV calling CQ 20, CQ, CQ. Calling CQ 20 meters. This is N1 JV, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ 20 and bye for a call. So, 9, 10. Hello. Hello? CQ 80 meters, hello CQ, calling CQ, 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 CQ 80 meters phone. This is November 1, Juliet Victor, November 1, Japan Victor, calling CQ 80 meters, calling CQ, 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 November 1, Japan Victor, calling CQ 80 and bye for a call. Calling CQ 80 meters, hello CQ. This is November 1, Juliet Victor, calling CQ 80. CQ 80 meters, hello CQ. November 1, Japan Victor, calling CQ 80 and bye for a call. CQ 80 meters, hello CQ, calling CQ, CQ, CQ. This is November 1, Juliet Victor, N1 JV. November 1, Japan Victor, calling CQ 80 meters and bye for a call. N1 JV will be QRT. Oh well. It works good. Check 1 2. Hello 1 2. Test 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 test. Check 1 2. Hello 1 2. Test test test. Let's see. Test 1 2. Hello test. Testing. Test test test. Test 1 2 3. Is rig blasting at higher audio than human? Oh yeah. Hello 1 2. Hello 1 2. Check, check, check. So I'm listening to my own audio in the headset. Actually, let me just do it like this. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet Victor, calling CQ and bye. CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet Victor calling CQ and by. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1. See, you can use that feature right there to adjust your EQ exactly the way you want it to sound. Alright, so I've got 4 profiles here. I have on-air moderate, on-air narrow, on-air wide, and on-air natural. This is on-air natural. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. On-air wide is going to be more compressed. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet. Sometimes it does not open the one that I want it to. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1. It won't open the wide. Open. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. Okay, so that was on-air wide. This is on-air natural. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQD. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1 Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. That's the profile I like best. Wide, about a 2-to-1 compression ratio, a little bit of clipping. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. I'm going to call that one stupid.ini. Stupid narrow. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. CQDX, hello CQ, November 1, Juliet, Victor calling CQ and bye. This is a really, really, really awesome program. Aside from just playing games, it really does. It really should help me cut through a pileup. Keep my average power. Way the hell up. The only problem is I don't have anti-vox, so I can't listen to the speaker. Yes, bass doesn't dominate the best ones, these two hollow, but it will. But will it be you they are talking to or just Memorex? Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Well, I do have. Actually, now that I have the program, I can capture that audio into a sound file, and I can create a loop that plays back with VLC and automatically sends out my CQ message, which is another nice feature. I can just let it work and sit back and listen. And with that, that's lunch. I'm gonna kill the broadcast. Go piss my brains out again. Haven't even. Did I open another beer? I did open another beer. Yep, no wonder. A waiting gap through.